Hey everyone! So today is December 15th. It is officially the release for Gabriel is Cursed, and I'm super excited. We have a couple of fun things planned. Mostly I'm going to be doing a few giveaways so I can kind of show off some of these prizes for you. I've got some signed copies of Spellbound that I'm going to be giving away today. I also have some fan art, which I'm going to show you later on in the stream. I had, well, not fan art, character art that I had commissioned for this. I have stickies. Ooh. I am unorganized. Okay. Some cute bookmarks like this one right here. I have one that specifically I made, and it was designed based off of the Spellbound book. Hey! Good to see you. I'm just starting, so you got here just in time. Thanks. I'm just starting out. I was showing off some of the stuff that I'm giving away. So I've got like the Spellbound copy here. I'm going to be giving away a signed copy of this today. I actually have two of them. I have some bookmarks to go with them too. I'm also going to be giving away an Amazon card, but that's going to be digital. And I've got this bookmark. So coffee themed bookmarks, you know. Yeah, I've got this here. I made this one. So this one is just some cardstock with like the Mod Podge, and it's a quote from Spellbound. I also have two pieces of character art that I got commissioned for this specifically. And there's more. But wait, there's more. I'm going to see if I can screen share so you can see the character art that I just had commissioned. Hold on. Let me open it first. And I will show you, because I'm super excited about how they turned out. One of them is a scene with Rose and Gabriel kissing, and the other is the first time that Rose actually transforms her arm. So I'm just going to show it off really quick. Hey! Hi, Mohan. Nice to see you. Let me go ahead and see if I can figure out how to get this thing to share. I'm trying to figure out how to share my photos here. Wait, I think I got it. Hold on. Let me try again. Share screen. Application window, maybe? I don't want my view downloads. We're just going to do the entire screen here. I will temporarily share my entire screen so you can see. So here's the first one. That's the one with Rose and Gabriel kissing. That one I've already ordered the prints for. So you'll have the option between like a card that will fit inside the book or a poster, which I've ordered 2 of those. And then this is the other one, which I haven't ordered any prints for yet. And that's the one where Rose transforms for the very first time. So 2 different artists, as you can see. I'm super happy about how they turned out. This one, I'm probably going to go to Office Depot to get them printed because it's not quite the right size for a card and it's not quite the right size for a flyer either. So I'm going to have to figure that one out as to like how I'm getting that printed. But yes, those are the 2 pieces of artwork that are getting given away today. Whoops. Were you all able to see that? I wasn't sure, so hopefully you were able to see the artwork. Yeah, it's anime style. I actually got my start doing like if you look at the cover, this was actually from an artist that I met at an anime convention. So like I really like that anime art style. I also get a lot of my tropes from anime too. Okay, so now that that's Done. Let's go ahead and start things off with a Q&A. So this is your chance to ask me anything you'd like to know about the book or about my writing process or just about me. So we'll start off. Anyone who would like to ask me a question, you can type it below for me in the live chat. But yes, so Gabriel is Cursed is going to be the second book in the Nymph's Revenge series. Any questions? No? Maybe? Okay. Do you have any questions for me, Amy, Nia, Mohan? Okay, so there were a couple of different things that inspired this, but one of the main things, hi Trin, one of the main things that inspired me was there's a story called I think it's called Rapinchi's Daughter. Correct me if I'm not saying that right. Basically, the idea was that the girl lived in the greenhouse with all these poisonous plants for so long that she herself became poisonous. So it's kind of like a mixture between that and a retelling of Rapunzel. So that's basically where I got the majority of the inspiration. The nymphs kind of came along later when someone pointed out that it was really similar to Rapinchi's Daughter. And I was like, oh, but what if this happened? And I kind of started adding little things into it bit by bit, because originally it was just a short story about her trying to escape the greenhouse. So this started out as like a short story that I wrote in high school. But the main inspiration, Rapinchi's Daughter and Rapunzel, with lots of nymphs thrown in. You'll see that the third book is going to be very, very different, though, because the third book's focusing on the nymphs, and it's going to be completely different from the first and second book. Any other questions for me? Okay, so Rose was pretty easy for me because I wanted to base her off of the plant that she was connected to. So that's where Rose came from. Gabriel, at the time, I had a big thing for like angels and archangels. And for whatever reason, I just was drawn to that. But for the nymphs, their names all come from the name of the plants that they're connected to. So Rose is Rose. Oh, I love Hunter x Hunter. But yeah, most of the nymphs came from the plants that they're connected to. So belladonna is a belladonna plant. Nightshade is kind of one of the exceptions. Nightshade is a family of plants. So I made him Nightshade because he's not very trusting. So he doesn't want anyone to know what type of plant he is exactly, because then it's easier to find and kill him. But most of them go by the name of their plant, with the exception of Elizabeth, whose plant is an evergreen, and Nightshade, that's the family of plants that he came from. I don't remember where I got the idea for Rose's parents, though. I am giving stuff away, Amy. We're going to actually do a giveaway next. So we've done 2 questions. We're going to do some more questions later. So if you want to, just keep those questions in mind. But I want to start with our first giveaway. Okay? So what do you think? Should we start with bookmarks or signed copies? What inspired me to write a book? I would say I've always just really liked writing, like since I was in elementary school. So for me, just the need to create worlds and kind of just like an escapism from reality was pretty much what inspired me. I've also just been really inspired by mythology. A lot of it's Japanese mythology, and I like Grimm's fairy tales too. So those are the main things. But we're going to do our first giveaway. I'll let you guys pick. What do you want to start with? We have some bookmarks here. I have one that's a light up bookmark. So this one actually has a light in it too. What do you think? Bookmarks first or signed copy first? These are the different bookmarks. Wow. I actually have one from War of the Twin Swords, but I'm not giving this one away because I messed it up. So which one? I'm gonna let you all pick. We'll say for one, either one of these bookmarks is getting given away first, or one of the signed copies. I think my chat is a little bit delayed. So if you typed it and I don't see it right away, that's why. Bookmarks? Okay, cool. So we're going to give away one bookmark. I will let you pick which one you want. If you can answer a question for me. I'm going to start with an easier question. Let me think. Okay. I have another series. It's called the Gemstone Massacre series. And if you don't know, you can look this up on Amazon, but it will be the first person who answers will win this, okay? Can you tell me the name of the very first book? Technically, it's a short story. The very first book / short story in the Gemstone Massacre series. The first person that I see in the chat will get the bookmark. And this is available internationally too, so anyone can do this one. So I'll say the question one more time. I have another series. It's the Gemstone Massacre series. What is the name of the first book? Yeah, can I give the national? International? I can ship it internationally. I'm not sure if that's what you meant there. The name. That's what I'm asking for you to answer that question. The name of the series, the name of the book. If you don't know, you can look it up on Amazon under my name, Julia Goldhirsch. I will give you a hint. It starts with a W. Anyone? If you look up my first and last name, you can find it. It is an Excalibur retelling. Should we try a different one? I have a keychain I'm giving away too with the cover on it. Yes, it's War of the Twin Swords, Mohan. Yes, I'll give you that one. So Mohan, let me know which bookmark you want. Which one do you want? And I'll put it aside for you. The coffee one, the spellbound one, the handmade spellbound one, or the booklight one. Tell me which one you want and I'll put it aside for you. and send me a message on Instagram so I can get your information to ship it. My Instagram is Wandering Teacher Book. So for anyone who wins a prize, the red one, okay. So I'm setting aside the red one for you, Mohan. I wish I had sticky notes so I could like know who's who here. I'm just gonna put a note in my phone because otherwise I'm gonna forget. Coffee, gotcha. Yeah, send me a message on Instagram so I know where I'm sending it to, Mohan. So Mohan gets the coffee bookmark. Okay. What do we want to do next? A live read or another giveaway? I'll let you guys pick. Live read or giveaway? What are we thinking? Live read? Okay. I see a live read and a giveaway. So Amy said giveaway. Trin said live read. Who wants to be the tiebreaker here? Because we got a 50-50 split. All right. I saw giveaway first, so how about we'll do one more giveaway and then I'll do a live read, okay? All right, Amy, this next one's for everybody. This one I will also ship internationally. We're going to do another giveaway. This one's going to be a signed copy of Spellbound. This is the second edition of the book. I will be sending this internationally. If you're international, you can still do this one. Okay? In order to get this, I want you to answer this question for me. What is the name? Actually, I want to pick something that you would know even if you haven't read the book yet. Let me think. Oh, here we go. Here's an easy one. What is the name of the main character? What is the name of the main character in this book? Or characters, because there's two. Either one of them. What is the name of the main character? First person who tells me can get this one. Look at the cover. What is the name of the main character? Yeah, it's Rose and Gabriel, Trin. You got it. Trin, you were just a little bit faster, so you get this one. I will send it to you. Send me a message on Instagram. Yeah. So Trin, send me a message on Instagram, or I think I have you on Facebook too. So you could also send me a message on Facebook so I know where I'm sending this to. Okay? And let me know if you want anything specific when I sign it for you. You're welcome. So Trin gets the first signed copy. Don't worry, there will still be one more copy to give away. Okay, let's go ahead and do the live read next. I want you to tell me, do you want to listen to an action scene or do you want to see one of the romance scenes between Gabriel and Rose? One of like the cute banter scenes. I'll let you pick. Action scene, romancy banter scene. Yeah, I think we are too. So you can send it to me either one, Facebook or Insta. It is Rose. We already got action scene. Okay, we'll go action scene. Action scene it is. I'll give an easy one for you next time, Amy. I'm going to give a personal question next time. I heard action and romance. How about we'll do one action, one romance? I'm going to start with the action scene first. So this is like the very first training scene where they're learning how to fight. So I just need to get to this here. Okay. No, it's not there. They plan to do it. Training scene. Here we go. Rose stood at the center of the clearing. Do you want me to screen share so you can see it as well? Yes, no, maybe so. Hold on. Let's see if I can manage this. Oh, yes, I can. I can share my Kindle. Look at that. How convenient is that? Rose stood at the center of the clearing, drenched in sweat and gasping for air. Her left arm was green and coated in vines. Elizabeth gave Rose a slight smile. Rose, take a break while I work with Gabriel. Rose fell back to the grass, arms outstretched. Elizabeth turned her hand into a solid piece of bark. Now it's your turn to train. Get into a fighting stance. I want to see how you do with just your hands. Gabriel hesitantly balled his hands into fists, holding them out in front of him, and crouched slightly. Okay, go ahead. A gust of wind rippled his shirt, and Elizabeth blurred before him. A flash of brown was the only warning before wood collided into his right arm, scraping his skin. You'll have to be faster than that. He stepped back, raising his arms again for the next attack. This time, he picked out her moving towards his right arm, and he dodged to the left. She sliced through the space where his arm had been, but she stayed on balance, crouched low to the ground. Meanwhile, his legs had gotten too far apart and his ribs were in front of her. He tried to turn to face her, but she shoved the side of his torso with her arm, and he tottered off balance, placing his hands out to break his fall to the dirt. His palms stung as they scraped against the grass and dirt, and when he looked up, she pointed the tip of her transformed arm at his throat. You waste too much movement when you dodge. If this were a real battle, you'd be dead. Now try to attack me. Attack with what? He thought. But before he could open his mouth to voice the question, she created a staff of thick bark before his eyes. Her face flushed red, and her breaths came in heaving gasps from the effort. She struck out at the air, hefting it with ease, and then tossed it to him. He fumbled with the staff, and it clattered to the ground, eliciting a sigh from Elizabeth. She nodded at the staff. I want to see if you're any better with that. Try to hit me. Maybe if I surprise her, I can hit her. Without warning, Gabriel thrust the weapon up at her throat. She stepped back to avoid the blow and grabbed the arm holding the weapon. She locked his wrist and twisted his hand into an unnatural position. He yelped and dropped the staff. Nice try, but you're signaling your moves with your body. You want to keep your stance low and aim even lower. Try to keep your elbows in when you thrust the staff. Gabriel pulled his elbows in and stood with the staff held out in front of him. Her gaze skimmed over him, appraising him like a pig at the market. Watch my stance and try to copy it. She got into a low crouch, like the one she'd used to dodge his attack. Her feet were squared off. One hand covered her face, and the other hovered just below her stomach. Why do I have a feeling that I'll just look like a fool if I try that? His gaze shifted from her body to his as he crouched as low as he could go and placed a hand in front of his face and groin like she had. Her frown as she circled him and the feeling of his leg shaking as they tried to keep the stance told him he was doing something wrong. When she gave him a good shove, he fell right over. That was better, but you're too stiff. You want to lower your center of gravity. But the rest of your body should be light so you can dodge or strike at a moment's notice. Get up and try again. He got back into the stance, but this time he didn't crouch as low and he didn't lock his legs. It felt less forced. Do you want me to keep going, or would you like to switch over to a romance one? What do you think? Keep going? Because I know this is a particularly long training scene. Like, to give you an idea, this one is 3,000 words? 4,000 words? Keep going? Okay. I'll read a little bit more. She tapped his back to straighten it and gave a few quick swipes to see if he could get out of the way fast enough. His legs were still too slow, but he dodged the strikes she'd aimed at his arms, chest, and head. That's better. Let's try again, but this time I'll move a little faster. This time, he couldn't see her at all when she slashed at his leg. The force made him cry out, and she aimed a jab at his side. He lifted the staff to block it, but he was too slow to avoid the strike entirely. The sharp bark grazed his ribs. He inched his foot back as she went for his leg, but he tripped over his feet, temporarily losing his stance. She leveled a blow at his head, so he sidestepped, but it was a ruse. The arm stopped mid-blow and moved to block, while her other arm thrust forward, getting him square in the stomach. His ribs vibrated from the force, and he rubbed at the tender flesh. She'd stopped before she'd done any real damage, but that was going to bruise in the morning. He gritted his teeth, trying to push past the pain and focus on the movement of her hands and feet. She kicked out with her leg to sweep him off his feet, and he slid back, keeping his elbows in, as he thrust his staff toward the leg she wasn't using to kick. But in the process, he'd favored his front leg, taking him off balance. Her transformed arm connected with his front leg, and he fell forward. He had to drop the staff and throw his hands in front of him to avoid landing, chin first, and his chest landed right on the staff, knocking the wind out of him. She stood over his prone form, taking in even breaths while he struggled to get air in his lungs. The fight hadn't even fazed her. When he didn't get up right away, she shouted, "You're gonna have to do better than that. Again!" He grimaced and pushed up from his spot on the ground. "I don't think my body can handle any more bruises." His legs shook beneath him. "If you want to survive this, we have to work until you collapse from exhaustion." "My legs are already barely holding me. Perhaps I should continue this tomorrow?" She snapped. "Our time is limited. You need every second of training you can get. Now take your stance." He picked up the staff and took his stance again, but one of his legs buckled beneath him. Gabriel placed a hand on the leg and straightened it out. Elizabeth shot him a pitying look. "I'd like to let you rest, but we don't have the luxury of time." Gabriel dusted himself off. I understand. Do you have any advice to keep me from losing my balance?" Her gaze drifted to his wobbling legs. "Don't leave your stance. When you dodge, make sure your legs move in an L, not a straight line, so you don't trip. Always aim low when you kick." She did a couple of mock kicks to show him, and then demonstrated how to move forward, backward, and to the side. She moved in a way that didn't allow any opportunities to trip over her own feet, and her kicks were low enough that they'd be tough to dodge. I need water. He adjusted his stance to mirror what she'd shown him and waited for her next attack. She went right for his legs with a swift kick. He moved his leg out of the way like she'd shown him, but he couldn't move with the same grace she had, and his feet tangled together. He fell to the dirt. She smoothed out the lines forming on her forehead with her thumb. Again, he forced himself up and took his stance, but a flash of green caught his attention, and he turned to look at Rose. All he caught was a glimpse of green fingertips before he was knocked to the ground. Don't focus on your lover, focus on yourself. Rose's entire face flushed, and her gaze turned to Elizabeth. In unison, they both shouted, "We're not lovers!" Heat warmed Gabriel's cheeks. Somehow, I don't think us answering in unison did much to dispel her impression of us. Gabriel felt Rose's gaze on him now as he practiced, and he caught a second wind of energy. I have to do this for her. I can't hold her back. Despite his already shaky legs and sore ribs, he managed a couple more sparring matches with Elizabeth before his legs turned to lead weights and he collapsed to the dirt ground. Once he was spent, he observed Rose's training as she transformed her arm over and over until she also fell to the ground, covered in sweat, her chest heaving as she tried to gulp air. Elizabeth looked from Rose to Gabriel and then back again. The clock tower chimed, alerting them it was midnight. That's all for today. We'll do this again tomorrow, Elizabeth said. Rose recovered first, and she walked over to Gabriel to pull him up from the floor. They supported each other as they half crawled, half walked back to the hotel. Even Rose's footsteps stomped along, her usual energy gone. When they arrived at the hotel, they had just enough time to bathe and catch a few brief winks before she would go back to work and he'd go back to the library for research. So that was the action scene. That was like one of their very first training scenes. Was that in response to the comment where they respond with, "We're not lovers"? That's one of my favorite lines. I love that. Okay, we're going to read another section where it's going to be more of a romance. But before we do that, I want to do one more giveaway. This one, let's see. Bookmark or signed copy? Bookmark or signed copy? Do we have any Harry Potter fans in here? Because I have this. I don't know if you can see them. Should I give these away next? Let's go with these next. So we have some magnetic page clips. Yes, okay. All right. Let me think. I'm going to have you answer a question about me. If you know me and if you have me on Facebook, this will probably be an easy one for you. If you don't know me on Facebook, you might have a little bit of a harder time with this, or if you don't have me on social media. What do I do for a living aside from writing? What do I do for a living aside from writing? Thanks, Trin. I'm glad you liked the excerpt. All right, to win the Harry Potter page clips, not pins. To win the Harry Potter page clips, tell me, what do I do for a living? The first person I see in the chat will get it. But what kind of teaching? What kind of teaching? What kind of teacher? Be specific. Pretty much, yeah. It's not college, but it's adults. Yes, I'm teaching adult level English. I wish college. I need a master's at least for that. I'm working on that. So I will give this one to Trin. I think that's your second thing now, Trin. Because didn't you also get something else too? Yeah. Yeah, it's language for adults. Yeah. Yes, it is ESL for adults. I think I'm going to give that one to Sam, Trin, because she is closer. It is teaching, yeah, English language for adults. Okay. You are lagging, I think, a little bit, but that's okay. Okay. We will do the romance excerpt next. I think I'm going to pick the one from the hotel because it's super cute. And between that or the train scene. Hold on. I might do the train scene. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it first. You'd think that since it was my own book, I would know what chapter everything is in. No. I do not. I have to look it up. Write a book, they say. It will be fun, they say. Okay, so hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Not that one. I'm just trying to figure out what chapter it's in. Not that one. Here it is. It's in chapter 10. Cool. So we're going to go to chapter 10. Da, 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 da. There's actually 2 scenes in 10, but I'm going to go with this one because it's funny. I was between that or when they go to the very first hotel because they're both kind of cute. Mm-hmm. Can I search for it? Like, hold on. There it is. I found it. Okay. I'm going to screen share it so you can see. Mohan, you just missed a one of the giveaways that was for this one. I also have these here for giveaways, but like I didn't know if anybody would be into this sort of thing. Let me show you what I'm talking about instead of just talking about it. They're washi stickers from Japan. Okay. Focusing. Squirrel. Okay. Kindle. I still have to give away the figure out who's getting the fan art stuff, the character art stuff. Okay. Once they dropped their belongings in their chair, he turned to her. Want to clean up and visit the dining car, he asked. Rose's stomach rumbled at the mention of a hot meal, and she nodded. Just as she got up to follow Gabriel, a loud whistling noise rang out. She covered her ears. All aboard was shouted through the cabin. and then the ground moved beneath her. Rose reached for the edge of the bench, but she lost her footing and fell backward into Gabriel's lap. Gabriel whispered in her ear, "While I'm rather enjoying the view, a kiss would have sufficed." Her face flushed and she scrambled upright. "That wasn't intentional. I just lost my balance." "Then I'll have to offer my thanks to the conductor." "I'll make sure to repay you for your behavior later," she jeered. But as she got up, her stomach did little flips and she swayed on her feet. He grabbed her elbow, keeping her upright. "Easy now. Let's grab your pack so you can wash and change before dinner." Rose gave a slight nod as she forced down bile. If I can manage to stomach food, she thought. Even with Gabriel's support, she swayed and stumbled at first, but after a few minutes walking through the cabins, she regained her balance and the train ride became smoother. So I'm going to skip this part because there's a little bit of spoilers, but there's one more part in this chapter that I think you'll like. Because it's cute. They walked over to a stand by a person dressed in black pants and a white buttoned-up collared shirt. He turned to them and asked, "Table for two?" Gabriel replied, "Yes." The man said, "This way, sir," and led them to a table with a white cloth covering it. 2 empty wine glasses rested on the cloth's surface. The waiter pulled out a chair for Rose and Gabriel. He skimmed Rose up and down before swapping their wine glasses for water glasses and pouring them both some water. He handed them both menus. "Would you like some time to decide?" he said. Gabriel took one look at Rose, staring down at the menu with wide eyes before saying, "Yes, I think we'll need some time." The man gave a slight nod and walked away. Rose was so hungry she had a hard time deciding on just one thing. There was prime rib and several different types of seafood, including oysters and seafood Newburgh. I can pronounce words. She eyed the oysters on the menu, but she wanted to try something different. Then she remembered the steaming potato and decided that had to be part of her meal. Rose pointed out her order on the menu, the potatoes and the prime rib, and Gabriel's face paled, but he said, "Okay." When the waiter came back, she ordered her dinner. Gabriel asked for some rolls with butter for the table, and he got himself a chicken. I can't pronounce that word correctly. I know I wrote it, but fricassee? I don't know. As they waited, Rose fidgeted with the fork. When the silence stretched on for too long, she asked, "Gabriel, have you ever traveled north? Does it snow a lot there? What kinds of food do they have?" When he didn't answer for several seconds, she looked up to see him staring right through her. She waved a hand in his face. "Gabriel, you fall asleep sitting up?" For a moment, he didn't respond, and she worried she'd lost him again. Then he shook his head and said, "Sorry, my mind wandered off. What were you asking about?" Rose sighed. He hadn't heard anything she'd said. She started with just one question. "Have you ever been to the north?" He stared up at the ceiling. I didn't go as far north as Pennsylvania, but I went to Georgia for a delivery once. They had beautiful trees filled with peaches. The land there was covered in lakes with crystalline waters." She closed her eyes and tried to imagine such a place in her mind, a place untouched by the industry that ravaged their land. It sounded nice. "As a matter of fact, one of our first stops will be in Georgia. You can see some of it out the window when we get there tomorrow morning. You can sleep and I'll wake you when we get there." Her back straightened. "Really?" A warm smile lit his green eyes. "Of course, especially if it makes you happy." She flushed and opened her mouth to speak, but the steam wafting from a metal tray and the scent of butter made her lose her train of thought. "Same, Rose, same. As the server placed the food on the table, she gripped her fork tighter. "Make sure to eat slowly," she reminded herself as he slid the prime rib in front of her. She covered her skirt with her napkin, hoping to busy her hands until the server was finished. The smoky aroma of the prime rib tickled her nostrils. The scent of salt and pepper and something else a little spicy made her salivate. The meat had a rich brown crust on the outside, but as she sliced off a piece to eat, she saw it was pink in the middle. I have to take small bites so I don't draw attention to myself, she thought, as she guided a piece of the meat onto her fork and placed it in her mouth. She had to suppress a groan of delight. The tender meat melted in her mouth. Amazing. The basket of warm bread in the center. Whoops. What happened? The basket of warm bread in the center of the table called her name, and the butter smelled sweet. She snatched a roll from the center of the table and, using her knife, spread butter on the bread. Then she deposited a piece of bread in her mouth. A contented moan slipped out as she ate it, and she covered her mouth with a hand as Gabriel let out a slight laugh. Can you tell I'm a foodie? Enjoying your food, I take it? It's amazing. The delicious fragrance of lemon and cream and the canary yellow sauce coating Gabriel's meal drew her eye. She batted her eyelash at him. But yours looks even more amazing. Can I try some? He shook his head. You're such a glutton, but sure, clear some space on your plate. Rose moved her food to one side, so there was enough space for the chicken. Gabriel sliced off a generous piece and placed it on her plate next to the prime rib. Then he scooped up a small bit of his noodles and placed them on top of the chicken. She gave him a megawatt smile and then took a forkful of the chicken and plopped it into her mouth. The sour tang of lemon balanced the richness of cream. When she bit into the chicken, it felt velvety on her tongue. She could get used to eating like this. Thank you. She picked up a piece of prime rib and deposited it on his plate. I just thought it was cute, the scene where they're sharing the food, so I wanted to include that as well. I am still giving stuff away, Amy. The washi stickers are pretty cool. So that was one of the cute scenes that I like. The other one is towards the beginning. If we have some time, I will do that too. But I don't want it to go too long today because I do have work at 7. Okay, I'm going to turn off the screen share for now. I will open up some Q&As if you'd like to ask me anything before I go on to the next giveaway. So if you have any questions, type them below for me and I will answer them for you. I'll take a couple more questions before our next giveaway. I think I have a little bit of a delay, but any questions, you can type them below. Doesn't have to be about the book. You could ask me questions too. Ugh. Where did my phone go? There it is. Anyone? I could answer a couple of things that I know I've gotten asked before. Like if there's going to be another book with Rose and Gabriel, which there will, but it's not going to be with them as the main characters. There's going to be another book with Rose and Gabriel, but they're not going to be the main characters. It's going to be focused more on Ivy and Elizabeth's character. And the other nymphs that you kind of get to start meeting in this book. And then I have the third book, which is coming out, and that's going to be focused on Belladonna and Nightshade's story. I'd like to do a couple little spin-off stories that focus on Laura and one that focuses on Gabriel's past too. No questions? No? In that case, let's go ahead and do, yes. Yes, I'm still giving stuff away, Amy. Okay. Next one. What should I give away next? We have a couple options. Washi stickers. We could do another bookmark. The animations. So the character art that I showed you earlier in the stream, I commissioned that through a Facebook group. Okay, yeah. The animations, the character art, that was from 2 artists that I found on a Facebook group that one of my friends recommended. I think it's called Commissions for Artwork. Commissions for Artwork? Yeah, Commission an Artist for Art. That's the name of the group. It's on Facebook. That's the name of the group on Facebook. That's where I found the 2 artists, and their names are, hold on. I have to look them up because I don't quite remember. I know one of them is from the Philippines. And his name on Facebook is this. I have to look up their actual name, but I will post it on my Twitter. So if you're curious about who the artists are for both of the artworks, I'm going to post all of their links on Twitter and hopefully on Instagram as well after this live stream. But I'm thinking, since we haven't done the artwork giveaway, we're going to do an artwork giveaway next. So I'm going to start with the one that I've already ordered. So let me show it again, and just for anyone that didn't see it. This one. So I'm going to be giving away this one next for anyone who can answer this question. I am going to give away 2, so one person can get the poster and one person can get the card. Okay? Let me think of a good question. I would say it ended up being way different from what I imagined because I'm a discovery writer. Okay. Giveaway time. Let's see. If you can answer this question for me, I'm going to pick the first one. This is going to be for your choice, poster or card. So I'm gonna do 2, one for your choice and one will be whatever is left over, the poster or the card. For this one, I think I want to pick a little bit of a more difficult question. Let me think. I lived in another country for 1 year. What country was it? First person to answer will get this one. I lived in another country for a year. What country was it? Bonus points if you could tell me why I was there. Dang, Trey was fast on the keyboard. Okay. You're right, Trin. You got it. Trin's just taking home all of the giveaway prizes today. Samantha, you'll still get one too. Just let me know, Trin, which one you want. Do you want the poster? Yes, and I was there teaching. I was there as an ESL teacher. Sam, you got one too. You both won. Because there were 2 to give away, the poster and the card. So Trin, which one did you want, the poster or the card? I'll wait. So Sam and Trin, Rose, X, Gabriel. And if you didn't get a chance to win this one, don't worry. Once I have signed copies set up, I will also be giving away a limited number of them with the signed copies. Okay, so Trin's going to get the card. Okay. So Sam. And Sam, are you okay with the poster, or do you want a card as well? Because I have multiple cards, so you can both get a card if you want. So Trin is going to get the card. It's only the poster that I have limited amounts of because they're big and I don't have space for all of them. I cannot get 20 million posters. Okay. You both have my Facebook, so you can always let me know. Yeah. Card? Awesome. So that means we still have a poster left. Okay, so Sam and Tran get the card. I still have an Amazon gift card to give away. I'm the same. I have a million posters. Okay, so one of the things I actually had to give away was like, where is it? It's somewhere. But I had like a bunch of artwork that I bought from a convention that I ran out of room for. So if anyone likes anime art and would like me to give these away, please tell me, because I have no space for these and they're pretty cool, but like, I don't know what to do with them. Whoop. And yes, that one's from Hunter x Hunter. I think that's on the upside down. Yeah, there you go. So I have those as well too. If someone would like to win these, let me know. I will put it in for a giveaway either today or some other time. Cool, cool. I still have one more signed copy to give away. Thanks. I swear if there were frequent flyer miles for Artist Alley at anime cons, I would have earned them by now because I go to Artist Alley like every time and I, without fail, end up with new artwork. Even though my wall in my room is completely full, I do not have any business buying more artwork. And yet I bought myself a poster. What does that say about me? That I have problems. Okay. We still have one more artwork. That's the Rose transforming and one more signed copy. What do you want to do next? Artwork, signed copy. What should we do next for our next giveaway? I think I'm going to make the next one an easy question. It's going to be a personal question. I miss anime cons. I was supposed to do a panel this year before, you know, like stuff happened. Hey, Mohan. Okay, we'll do a couple more giveaways because I don't have a whole ton more time to stay on here. So we'll do a few more giveaways and some more Q&As. And then if we have time, we'll do a short live read. Let's do another giveaway. I'm thinking... Okay, I have an idea for a question. Which should we do first? The other fan art or the other signed copy? All right. Bye, Mohan. I hope you enjoyed. Okay. Fan art or signed copy, guys? What do we think? Everyone. All right, Nia, I'm going to pick an easy one. Fan art? Okay. So this one I haven't ordered prints for yet, but I will be ordering them soon. Hunter x Hunter. Okay. Nia, how about we do this one just for you? We're going to make the next one this one. So that way you can win the Hunter x Hunter art that's in here. So whoever answers first will get these. I will let you, I will ship it to wherever it needs to be shipped. Okay, let me think of a good question for you. I'm gonna pick an easy one. Just for you, Nia. What is my middle name? Or what's another good question? If you can tell me what my middle name is, or if you can tell me the name of my dog, because I think I have mentioned it a couple of times on social media and on my YouTube videos. My middle name or the name of my dog. I will accept either one. Where is she? She's somewhere. And that's for this prize here. If you have me on Facebook, my middle name is on my Facebook. And I will give you a hint for my dog's name. Her name is the same name as one of the characters from, well, if I tell you the name now, that's kind of giving it away. I'm going to tell you anyway. It's the same as one of the characters from Something and the Tramp. I'm pretty sure that's giving you too much of a hint, but yes. We'll do the signed copy next, Nia. We will do the signed copy next. Yep, it's Rose and Lady. Yes, my middle name is also Rose. Which is kind of ironic because I'm actually allergic to roses. Fun facts. So that one's for Trin. I don't think it's you. I think for some reason my chat lags, but I will put these aside for you, Trin. Okay, signed copy next. If you win a signed copy, I will also send you one of these. Signed copy. And if you win this, let me know how you would like me to personalize it for you. Let me think. I'm trying to think of one that's not too difficult. Okay, if you have me on Instagram, you should be able to get this. If you have me on Instagram, you should be able to get this one. Name a country I have been to aside from Japan. Aside from Japan. Name a country I have been to aside from Japan. If you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, you will probably be able to get this. Alternatively, name the state that I'm from. If you can't think of a country I've been to, you can also name the state that I'm from. Hi.
done?
No.
What?
I'm still going. So a country that I have visited or the state I'm from. Yeah, you got it, Sam. It is Florida. I'm from Florida. South Florida, Broward County. Trin, you're going to like clean up and take home all the prizes. Sam, you get this one. This one's for you, Sam. You got it just a little bit faster this time. All right, so Sam, I'm going to put this one aside for you. Okay. Let's see. What do we still have left here? We still have some bookmarks. Oh, I still have this. Okay. I'm going to do one more book-related giveaway. This is going to be for a free e-copy, because I don't have the print yet. This will be for a free e-copy of Gabriel is Cursed. Let me think. Let's pick something that I mentioned earlier in the stream. What is the name of the plant for Elizabeth's character? What plant is connected to Elizabeth's character? I mentioned this earlier in the stream. Let's see who remembers. What is the name of the plant for Elizabeth's character? I do have a hint if no one gets it. Don't worry. What is the name of the plant for Elizabeth's character? I don't see any answers yet, so I'm going to give a hint. Her plant is also a really popular plant for Christmas time. Come on. Her plant is also really popular for Christmas time. What is Elizabeth's plant? Nia, I think you're lagging because I'm just now getting the one about being from Florida. I am from Coconut Creek, yes. You got it. It's a little more general than that. A little more general than that. Yeah, you got it, Sam. It's an evergreen tree. I think I've already given you an e-copy, Sam, but I will give you the e-copy. Yes, you got it. It is evergreen. That's her name. She's an evergreen tree. Okay. I will take one more round of Q&As, and then we're going to do our last giveaway, which is for the last fan art. The one of Rose transforming. So I will take two more questions. It's okay, give it to Nia? Okay. Nia, I will go ahead and send you an e-copy. Send me a message to Wandering Teacher Books. Yeah, I noticed. She's trying though. Nia, I'm gonna send you an e-copy. Just go ahead and message me on Instagram. What inspired me to write? Are we talking like a specific story or just in general what inspires me to write? Because if we're talking in general, I would say just like the need to create stories and see people who normally aren't represented be represented more, like especially with my Gemstone Massacre series. Like, I don't see a lot of like the part of the LGBT community that I'm in represented very often. Like, I definitely don't see very good bisexual representation, and I don't see like a lot of people that are non-binary represented. So I would like to see more of that. So partially that, and also like a lot of mythologies. I'm really inspired by interesting mythologies. Like, I'm a fan of Japanese mythology. I also get really inspired by anime. If you notice with Rose and Gabriel's character, a lot of their like romance tropes were from that. But yeah, so mostly that. Anime inspires me a lot. Mythologies, obviously fairy tales. I really like fairy tales, especially the darker fairy tales like Grimm's fairy tales. And my favorite authors inspire me too. Like two of my favorites would be Marissa Meyer and Maria V. Snyder. Any other questions before we go to our last giveaway? I still have a ton of stuff left over. Please ignore the phone ringing in the background. Was it hard getting published? So these are actually self-published. So I would say it was definitely an extensive process, but it wasn't like trying to get traditionally published where you go through years and years trying to get an agent and things like that. I do have one thing that was traditionally published, which is my Japanese mythology story called Moonvine. And that one wasn't too bad because a friend of mine owns the company. So I was able to get into the anthology through her, and she really liked the story. So if you want to look that one up, I think the mythology story it's in like an autumn themed anthology, which I have to look up what it's called. It's called Of Cottages and Cauldrons, if you wanted to look it up. If you look up my name, you'll be able to find it. But that's the only one I have that's traditionally published. Everything else is self-published. It's definitely harder like finding your audience doing self-publishing. You have to do all of the marketing yourself as opposed to doing some of the marketing yourself. So in that sense, I would say it was hard. But as far as like uploading, depending on what your personal standards are, like it can be really easy or really hard. For me, I know that I go through a pretty extensive editing process. I have 3 editors and I have 2 rounds of beta readers before I even think about publishing. I also like to make sure that I have a really good professional cover, and I'm dealing with a lot of legality things. So I have to come up with contracts for cover artists and editors to make sure I'm not getting sued and things like that, because you have to get permission to use certain things for commercial purposes, specifically art. So in that sense, yes, it was hard, but it's not like traditional publishing. It's a little bit different. It's hard in different ways. I hope that answers your question. I know that was kind of a long-winded response. Okay. Let's go ahead and do the next giveaway. Final giveaway, guys. So this is going to be for, we're going to stop that screen there, share screen. This is going to be for this one, the one of Rose transforming. So let me know once you win it if you would like to have a glossy or matte for this one, if you'd like for it to be glossy or matte. And if you're looking for something bigger like a poster, I will get whatever I'm able to get from Office Depot or from Canva for this one. Okay. Let me think what I want to ask for this one. Hey, stop getting tangled. Katie's trying to join the stream here. Okay. Boots, knock it off. In order to win this one, let me think of a good question for you. Oh, here we go. I don't know if you all can see this. It's kind of random, but it's going to help you answer this question. What is one of my favorite TV shows? I just showed you one of them. It's on my shirt. What's one of my favorite TV shows? Or animes, if you know what animes I like. Because if you know me, you might know what animes I like. Here's your hint. This is your hint. If you recognize it. I will give that to the first person who can guess. Can you guys see this? Because I'm going to feel really silly doing this if you all can't see this. First person who answers will get this one. Alternatively, if you know me and you know this, because I've ranted about this a few times, what is a TV show that I don't like that everyone else likes? You don't know which one this is? No? Okay, I'm going to have to tell you after. Trin, you're right. That is one of my favorite animes. I mentioned it earlier in the stream. You're right. You're right. Sam, in case you were wondering, it's Doctor Who. It's a British TV show. It's super popular. Super, super popular. It's one of my faves. Trin, you cleaned up at this giveaway. Okay. That last one was for Trin. Let me make sure that I wrote down that Nia's getting the e-copy. Nia, e-copy, Gabriel is cursed. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, I forgot. I still have one more prize, and it's an Amazon gift card. I do have one more. I lied. That wasn't my last giveaway. I have one more, everybody. Okay, everyone, this is the last prize, for real this time. I forgot that I had the Amazon gift card thing. This one is digital, so you don't have to wait for shipping. You'll just let me know your email address, and that's how I'm going to send it to you. It is you're welcome. It is a $5 Amazon card. $5 Amazon card. What's an easy question I can ask? You are right, that is one of my favorite animes. I'll send you a copy too, Nia. So Nia, let me know as well. I'll send you a copy too. So Nia. All right, guys, last one. Last one, everybody. For the Amazon gift card, I want you to tell me, Okay, for the Amazon gift card, I want you to tell me. And you can probably guess this based on the type of stuff I write. What is my favorite genre? What is my favorite genre or genres? What is my favorite genre or genres for reading and writing? First one to answer, whoever's the quickest on the keys will be getting this one. Sam, you were so fast with that one. Yes, it's YA Fantasy. That's my favorite genre. You got it. I will send you the Amazon card, Sam. That was pretty much it for the giveaways. The only thing I have left is this, if anybody wants this one. And I have some like random odds and ends from other giveaways. Washi stickers, anime themed stuff, and this really cute pug. I always get really overzealous with giveaways. Like you can see how much stuff I still have. Like there's that one. There's cute stickers, Japan postcards. We'll save these for another day. Okay. That was it for the giveaways, everybody. We'll go ahead and wrap up with any final questions or if there's like a particular scene that you would like me to read. But that's it for the giveaways, everybody. I hope you had fun. I am going to put the link if you would like to check out the book. I'm going to put the link in the chat for you, okay? Boop. Because I'm a goof and I forgot to put the link in my YouTube thing at the bottom. And now I don't know how to do it. How do I fix it? I don't know. It's a good question. All right, guys, that was it for the giveaways. Any final questions that you want to ask me? Yes, no, maybe so. It is hot here. Probably because I turned off the fans. R&B. I'm confused. Okay. And I will be doing another event like this when I release Amy's Rebellion, which is going to be in July. So keep an eye out for that. All right. We did give you one, Nia. We gave you the copy of Gabriel is Cursed, and you're getting one of the fan arts. I don't remember which one because I didn't write it down. So I'll let you pick which one. I think you got the transformation one. you're getting one of the transformation copies. Any questions for me, guys? Anybody? Thanks, Nia. I'm glad you had fun. If you like this kind of stuff, I'm going to be doing another one in July when Amy's Rebellion releases. And that will be Gemstone themed. So I'm going to have a lot of Gemstone themed stuff. Because it's all Enchantress magic and shapeshifters. So I'm hoping to order some shape-shifting centric books and then something Enchantress based. Okay. All right. If there's no questions, I am going to go ahead and wrap up here, everybody. Thanks. It was a lot of fun for me too. I'm glad you all enjoyed. All right, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here because I still need to eat before my next shift. But I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you again soon when I release my next book. Bye.